They are coming. From the stars above were quiet. Z, a tiny alien from planet Friznik, was not. She screamed. Her small escape pod was falling fast towards a strange blue planet. The ship shook. Lights blinked red. Alarms shouted. Like angry goats. Crash landing. Crash landing. The pod yelled. Z tried pressing buttons, but her arms were too short. Her big eyes were wide with fear. Why did I even volunteer for the stupid mission? She cried. A second later, boom, the pod crashed into something soft, fluffy, and covered in white. Z blinked. She wasn't dead yet. She pushed open the hatch and peeked outside. Snow. Cold. Her tiny feet sank into it like marshmallows. This was Earth. Planet number 3 from the sun, known across the galaxy as the home of humans, or, as the Frizniks called them, the skin-wearing, meat-eating monsters. Z shivered, but not from the cold. She looked around. The crash site was strange. There were giant trees, black wires hanging in the air, and tall boxes with glass windows. Light came from inside one of them. It looked cozy, warm. Z's stomach growled. Maybe the monsters won't notice me. She whispered. Spoiler. They would. She snuck close to the big box. A window was open just a little. Z used her wings more like flappy noodles and flew up. She squeezed through and landed plop on a hard surface. It was a kitchen counter. There were shiny tools everywhere. One looked like a torture stick, a fork, another like a spaceship launcher, a spoon. There was also a plate of golden chicken wings. Z's eyes locked on the wings. Oh no, she muttered. Proof. They do eat meat. She pulled out her recording device and whispered. Mission log, day 1. Location, monster feeding zone. Evidence of cooked body parts found. I repeat, humans are carnivores. Suddenly, she heard it. Footsteps. Z froze. The sound grew louder, closer. Something big, very big was coming. The human Leo was 17 years old, hungry and sleepy. He walked into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes. He didn't see Z at first. He just wanted snacks, but then he spotted something odd on the counter. Something small, green, wiggly. He leaned in. What the heck? Is that a toy? Z screamed. Please don't eat me. Leo's eyes grew wide. Whoa, it talks. Z pointed her tiny plasma blaster more like a blinking pen. Stay back, beast. I bite. Leo laughed. You bite me? You're like 2 inches tall. Z didn't care. She stood her ground. Her legs were shaking, but her voice was strong. I'm Scout Z from planet Friznik. I am trained in over 9 alien fighting styles. I once escaped a space squid by wrestling it with a toothbrush. Leo stared. Then slowly, gently, he picked her up and placed her in an empty glass jar. Z banged on the glass. This is a prison. I have rights. But Leo didn't understand her language anymore. Her translator had glitched after the crash. Now, she just sounded like a squeaky rubber duck. Leo tilted his head. Okay, you're either a new kind of robot, or I'm really tired. Z sat inside the jar, arms crossed. This is bad, she muttered. Really bad. I've been captured by a teenage human, and he smells like cheese. She looked up. Leo was poking the jar, watching her like a curious cat. I should blast my way out, Z whispered. Or pretend to be dead. That always works in the movies. But she was too tired, and a little scared. She missed home. She missed the soft jelly chairs of her ship. She even missed her annoying space cat. Gloop. She sighed. They are coming for me, right? The rescue team? Please? She stared at the sky through the window. No stars answered. Meanwhile, Leo opened his laptop. He typed, found tiny alien. What do I do? He paused, then added, it's kinda cute. Trapped in the monster's lair. Z woke up with a headache and a horrible feeling. Glass walls, a round ceiling, a strange smell in the air, like burnt popcorn and dirty socks. She was still inside the jar, still trapped, still stuck on Earth, still very, very small. Her antenna twitched. Okay, she whispered to herself. Don't panic. You are Z. You survived meteor showers, lava, worms, and that one time you accidentally brushed your teeth with glue. You can survive one human. She peeked through the jar. The giant human was still there. Leo. He was sitting on the bed, staring at her. No claws, no blood, just a teenager in a hoodie eating cereal straight from the box and humming a weird tune. Z frowned. Why hasn't he eaten me yet? According to the Friznik survival guide, humans eat anything smaller than a watermelon, especially things that squeak. Z definitely squeaked. Suddenly, Leo leaned close. His eye was right there, huge and round and blinking. Morning, alien, he whispered. Z flinched. Please don't lick the glass, she begged. Leo didn't understand her alien language. All he heard was, gweeb gweeb blop blee. Aw, you're adorable, Leo smiled, like a jelly bean with eyes. Z banged on the glass with a tiny fist. Let me out, you giant walking fart. Leo placed something inside the jar, tiny crumb of cookie. Then he carefully dropped in a bottle cap full of water. Z stared at it. This is either a peace offering or fattening me up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Her stomach growled. She decided to take the risk. After eating and drinking, Z sat cross-legged and pulled out her emergency recorder. It was the size of a grape and shaped like a crab. Mission log. Day 2, she whispered. Captured by human. So far, no sign of brain melting experiments or being dipped in sauce. She paused. Correction? Human may be dumb, not dangerous. Then her eyes narrowed. Something didn't feel right. Leo had left the room. Z saw her chance. She pushed the cookie under one side of the jar, tipping it ever so slightly. She ran and jumped. Thump. And oh good. Again. Thump. Still no good. Ugh. Curse these stubby legs, she yelled. But then a miracle. The jar tipped further. One more push and crash. It fell sideways, rolling off the desk. Z tumbled out like a tiny gymnast and landed on a sock. A very smelly sock. Freedom never smelled so bad. She coughed. She made a run for it across the carpet planes, past the jungle of wires, under the towering desk legs. Her plan was simple. Reach the toaster in the kitchen. Hack into the power grid. Use toaster juice to recharge her communicator. Call for rescue. Easy. Except for one small problem. The cat.it saw her before she saw it. A giant orange fluff ball with laser eyes and a hunger for anything that moved. The cat crouched. Z froze. She whispered, "Oh no, it's the Earth Panther." The cat pounced. Z screamed and dove under a chair. The cat's paw missed her by inches. Leo came running in. What the mittens? Stop. Z ran. The cat chased. Leo chased the cat.it was chaos. Like a horror movie, but fuzzy. Z dove into a cereal box and held her breath. Leo finally grabbed the cat and tossed it gently out of the room. What is wrong with you today, Mittens? Z poked her head out of the cereal. Okay, she panted. Humans aren't the monsters, but they're pets? Definitely evil. That night, Leo returned with a strange device. It was glowing and round. He placed it near Z and pressed a button. Me, this'll help us talk, he said. Z recognized it. It was a toy voice translator, the kind used by toddlers on Mars. Still, it was better than nothing. Leo spoke. The translator buzzed, beeped, then translated into something almost understandable. Hello, small space grape. I am friend no eat. Z blinked. Thank you, she replied, slowly. I am Z, not grape, not food. The translator translated. Z, not tasty, do not bite. Leo laughed. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Z smiled a little. She didn't trust him yet, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't trying to eat her. But then, something changed. That night, when Z was pretending to sleep, she saw Leo open his laptop. He clicked on a folder. It said, "Top secret, alien dissection ideas." Her heart stopped. On screen were drawings, diagrams, alien bodies cut open like sandwiches, red lines, notes like, "Do aliens have hearts? What if their eyes pop out? Would alien blood taste like jelly?" Z gasped. She stumbled back and pressed record on her device. Mission log. Emergency. Human is a monster. Has a plan. A very sharp plan. I must escape before I become a snack. Or a science project. Her tiny hands were shaking. She looked up at Leo smiling, humming, clicking his mouse. He had no idea she was watching. He whispered, "They are coming for me, and I need them to hurry." The experiment file. Z didn't sleep that night. She sat curled up inside a Lego brick, staring at Leo from the shadows. Her eyes blinked slow. Her tiny claws clutched her recorder tight. Across the room, the human snored softly, like a dying space engine. His laptop sat open beside him, still glowing, still showing the terrible truth. Alien dissection ideas. Z's heart pounded like a space drum. "This is it," she whispered. "He's been fattening me up, playing nice. He's a clever monster." She narrowed her eyes. "Tomorrow, I escape, or I end up in a jar of pickled aliens." Mission log. Day 3. Human has dark plans. Smiles like a friend, but dreams of slicing me open. Must escape before he learns how to season me. Z was in full spy mode now. She crawled through wires. She climbed the back of Leo's desk using a shoelace. She dodged dust bunnies the size of moons. At the top. She reached the laptop. She had to see more. Maybe proof. Maybe a weakness. She tapped the trackpad. The screen lit up. Folders. Dozens of them. Alien memes. My UFO sketches. Does Pluto have ghosts? And then the most dangerous one of all. Experiment files. She clicked. Inside were videos, notes, blueprints of alien creatures. Some with wings, others with slime, and one that looked like a walking bag of noodles. Okay, that one might have been a photo of her. Her tiny mouth dropped open. One file was labeled, "Plan for Subject Z." If real, she clicked it. It opened, and it played a recording. Leo's voice came through the speaker. "Okay, if this alien is real, I need to learn how it works. Maybe it communicates with light, or maybe sound, or maybe it fakes being cute and is secretly planning to destroy my brain." Z froze. Step 1. Keep it safe. Feed it. Learn its habits. Step 2. Try communication. Step 3. If it attacks, hit it with a shoe. Final step. Open it up and see what's inside. Just kidding. Unless it's evil. Z blinked. "Wait, what?" she whispered. Was this a joke? Or was he trying to confuse her? Play mind games? Reverse psychology? Dull alien bluff? She didn't know anymore. All she knew was, she needed help. Fast. That morning, Leo placed a new object in front of her. It was a toy keyboard with blinking lights and cartoon cats on it. He smiled. "Wanna try typing? Maybe you can talk to me." Z raised one eyebrow. "What is this? A language tool, or a trap to see how smart I am?" Still, she stepped forward. Click. She pressed the key. The toy made a loud meow. Z jumped back. "What sorcery is this?" Leo laughed. "Okay, maybe that's not the best one." He pulled out something else, a kid's tablet with the drawing app. This was better. Z dragged her tiny finger across the screen and drew a circle, then an arrow pointing up. Leo tilted his head. "Is that you?" Z nodded. Then she drew a human. She added a big evil smile and a fork. Leo squinted. "Wait, you think I'm going to eat you?" Z pointed at the laptop. Leo blinked. "You saw the file?" Z nodded. Leo groaned. "Ugh. That was just a dumb project for school. It's fiction. I wasn't serious." Z didn't believe him, because the next thing Leo said was even worse. "Besides, I need more data before I even think about opening your skull." Z screamed and threw a Cheerio at Leo. Burst out laughing. Okay, I'm joking. It's a joke, you know? Haha. Comedy? Z did not laugh that night. Z climbed into the vents. She had one goal. Call for backup. She reached the kitchen, found the toaster. Her old plan was back. Step 1. Attach wire from toaster to her communicator. Step 2. Charge the signal. Step 3. Blast a distress call into space. She connected the wires. The toaster buzzed. She sent the signal. A red light blinked on her wrist. Message sent. Response pending. She smiled. "They're coming. The Frisniks are coming for me." but she didn't know what was really coming. Meanwhile, miles above Earth, a hidden alien satellite caught her message. It beeped loudly across the galaxy. Friznik command ship spun into motion. The captain looked at the screen. Scout Z is alive? Alert the fleet. If humans have her, we attack at dawn. Back on Earth, Leo walked into the kitchen and saw the smoke. What the Z? Did you microwave the blender again? Z stood beside the toaster, glowing wrist device in hand, hair all frizzed up. Leo narrowed his eyes. You're not just a cute alien, you're a troublemaker. Z backed away. Stay back, she yelled. Rescue is coming. You won't dissect me. Leo looked confused. I don't want to dissect you. Z held up her communicator. Too late. The message is sent. My people think I'm captured. If they come, they won't knock. They'll blow up everything. Leo went pale. Wait, you sent a what? Boom. A distant thunder rolled across the sky. Z and Leo both looked up. Far above the clouds, something was coming, and it wasn't a weather balloon. Escape plan Z. The lights flickered. The house buzzed with static. Something was coming. Z could feel it in her antennae. It was like the air had changed heavier, full of invisible warning signals only Frizniks could detect. Her people had heard her distress call, and they weren't sending a taxi, they were sending a warship. Leo, poor clueless Leo, stood in the middle of his kitchen, holding a smoking toaster like it was a bomb. You sent a message to your alien army? He shouted. Z stood proudly on the counter, her arms crossed, wings flared behind her like a cape. Yes, because you were going to slice me like space cake. Leo dropped the toaster. For the last time, I'm not a mad scientist. Z didn't blink. You had folders titled Alien Experiments. Leo groaned. It was for a school project. Everyone did aliens. One kid wrote about space giraffes. Z squinted. Giraffes are real? Leo paused. Wait, you don't have giraffes on your planet? No, then. Good luck sleeping tonight. But jokes couldn't hide the truth. They were in big trouble. Z pointed to the window. My people think you captured me. That means one thing: full-scale orbital blast cannons. Leo laughed nervously. You're joking, right? Just then, the sky rumbled again. This time louder. The ground shook. Z simply said, no, mission log. Day 4. Human now believes me. Panic level. Toasted. Z needed to fix this before her people turned Leo's house and half of Ohio into space dust. But she couldn't just call them and say, oops, false alarm. Not with the signal already sent. She needed to get out, up, to high ground, somewhere with a strong enough signal to override the distress call. Somewhere, like the roof. But Leo wasn't letting her out of his sight now. Look, I can help, he said, holding up a hamster ball. You can ride in this. It'll keep you safe. Z narrowed her eyes. That's a plastic prison on wheels. Or Leo smiled. A spaceship with legroom. Z sighed. Fine, but I want snacks. That night, Operation Escape Plan Z began. Leo tiptoed across the lawn with the hamster ball under his arm. Inside, Z sat cross-legged with the headset on, her communicator blinking. This better work, she whispered. Leo placed her on the shed roof, then climbed up beside her with a flashlight, a wrench, and a half-eaten granola bar. Essential gear. Z got to work. She connected wires from the communicator to the flashlight, then to a metal pole Leo used for flying kites. It buzzed, sparked, hummed with alien energy. Okay, D said. This is our chance. Leo nodded. Cool, do your thing. Z raised her hand and began tapping commands on her wrist. Beep, beep, beep. Suddenly, her device glowed bright red. Access denied. Signal locked. Frizz defense protocols enabled. Z's eyes widened. No, 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 no. Leo leaned closer. What's wrong? She swallowed. I've been locked out. The command ship took control of the signal. You mean, they're not waiting for me to respond anymore? She looked up at the stars. They're already here. Just then, a bright flash lit the sky. A thin silver beam of light shot down from above like a searchlight from a star. Z and Leo stared up. A massive triangular ship, nearly invisible in the darkness, hovered silently over the town. "Oh, no," Leo whispered. "That's not a weather balloon." He grabbed her communicator and yelled into it. "This is Scout Z. Cancel the strike. I'm alive, and the human is mildly tolerable." No reply, only static. Down below, Leo's phone buzzed. Text from his friend Max. "Bro, did you see the sky? Are we being invaded?" Then another. "Never mind. The power just went out. My dog is screaming." Leo looked at Z. "What now?" Z's tiny face was pale. "They're scanning for me. When they find me, if they think I'm still in danger, they'll do the unthinkable." Leo squinted. "Like, phone call without texting first, unthinkable. Or," Z replied softly, "planetary wipe." Leo screamed. Back in his room, Leo flipped open his laptop. "We need to override that call." Z climbed onto the keyboard. She connected her communicator to the USB port. Lights blinked. Files loaded. Leo stared at the screen. "Wait, I'm in your ship's database now." "Don't touch anything weird," Z warned. "If you click auto war, we both explode." "Got it," Leo said, while definitely hovering over a button labeled auto war. Together, they typed, "hacked, coded." Z even rewired Leo's gaming mouse to act as a neural uplink. "This is how humans use their tech?" she asked, holding up a pizza-scented controller. Leo shrugged. "We do our best." The command ship sent a final warning. "Unidentified threat in Zone 7. Launching cleansing protocol in 60 seconds. Z screamed. "That's us. We're Zone 7. Leo's fingers flew across the keys. "Tell me what to type." "Type. Subject safe. Human is not hostile. Abort. Fire." Leo typed fast, then paused. "Abort is with 1B or 2. Just hit enter." Beep, beep. Transmission sent. Z and Leo held their breath. The sky pulsed. The ship above paused. The beam stopped scanning. Then, a new message. Transmission received. Reviewing subject status. Stand by. Time slowed. A single sweat drop rolled down Leo's forehead. Z whispered, "If this doesn't work, I want you to know. I always hated your socks." Leo whispered back, "Fair." Suddenly, the sky flashed green. Then, the ship disappeared. No sound. No explosion. Just gone. Z collapsed in relief. Leo fell back into a beanbag chair and whispered, "I need so much cereal after this." Mission log. Day 4 addendum, human helped. Earth still exists. I am confused. My people called off the attack. I'm alive. But I don't know what comes next. That night, Z sat on Leo's desk, staring out the window. The stars looked different now. Not scary. Just quiet. Leo sat beside her with a bag of chips. "So, you gonna stay a while?" Z shrugged. "Maybe. At least until I figure out if you're actually dangerous." Leo smiled. "And if I am?" Z looked him dead in the eye. "Then I press this." She held up a red button. Leo blinked. "That's a jelly bean, Z. Or is it?" The peace offering for the first time since crash landing on Earth. Z wasn't thinking about lasers, traps, or becoming human stir-fry. She sat on Leo's windowsill, staring at the stars. They used to scare her. Now, they just made her feel small. Behind her, Leo snored loudly into a beanbag chair, one leg hanging off like a dead squid. Z shook her head. "This species, so strange." She sighed and pulled out her communicator. The invasion was cancelled. The fleet had gone silent. But they hadn't contacted her directly. No welcome back message. No mission update. Just silence. Too much silence. Mission log. Day 5, Earth not destroyed. Humans still alive. Beginning to think he's not evil, just weird and poorly trained. In personal hygiene, the next morning, Leo woke up groggy and cereal deprived. "Ugh, my back hurts," he said. "I think your escape plan gave me mild spine damage." Z was sitting in his cereal bowl. "Eat me, and I swear I'll make your eyebrows fall off." Leo raised his hands. "Chill, I'm not hungry for tiny aliens today." They both chuckled. For a moment, things felt normal. Whatever normal was for a teenage human and a 2-inch space scout. Later that day, Leo surprised her. He held out a small box wrapped in foil. "What's this?" Z asked. "A gift," he said. "You know, a peace offering." Z raised a brow. "Is this one of your human rituals? Like sorry almost vaporized you day?" He shrugged. "Sort of." She opened it. Inside was a handcrafted space helmet. "Well, sort of. It was made from a thimble, with googly eyes stuck on the front and a tiny flashlight taped to the side." Z stared at it. "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." Leo looked offended. Z smiled. "I love it." Later that evening, they walked outside under the stars, or well, Leo walked, and Z sat in a repurposed drone Leo turned into a hover chair. "Your people are really not coming to get you?" Leo asked. Z shook her head. "Not yet. The message said, stand by, but I think they're watching." Leo swallowed. "So, they're spying on us?" "Probably." He looked at the sky. "Do I wave? Or hide?" Z shrugged. "Depends. Are you wearing deodorant?" As they reached the field behind Leo's house, Z's communicator blinked. Incoming transmission. Her heart leapt. She tapped the screen. A hologram flickered to life, a tall Friznik commander with 6 eyes, and a voice like an angry violin. "Scout Z, we received your override signal. Your survival was unexpected." Z frowned. "You sent a death fleet to Earth?" "Yes. Standard protocol. We assumed the humans had deep fried you." Leo looked hurt. "Hey." Z cleared her throat. "Commander, I have made contact. The humans are not hostile." "That is your opinion, but your data is incomplete. Do not forget they destroyed their own moon rocks for fun." "True," Z admitted, "but they also make chocolate chip pancakes." "That does sound strategic." The commander's tone grew serious. "Scout Z, your time is ending. Return to orbit immediately. Final decision about Earth status will be made in 48 Earth hours." Z's eyes widened. "What kind of decision?" The commander stared at her. "Termination or preservation?" The message ended. Z sat in silence. Leo asked, "So, you have 48 hours to prove humans aren't trash pandas in pants?" Z nodded. "Basically, and if you don't, boom." That night, Z couldn't sleep. She walked through Leo's room like a tiny ghost. Every human thing suddenly felt different. Scarier, disposable, loud. Why were they so reckless? So unpredictable? Why did she like them anyway? She found Leo sitting quietly at his desk, sketching in a notebook. Z hovered closer. "What are you drawing?" Leo turned the book. It was a comic about Z. Tiny alien, big courage, saving the Earth. She blinked. "That's me." Leo smiled. "Yeah, I thought you deserved a hero story." Z sat down beside him, unusually quiet. "You don't know how big that is." The next morning, things got weird. Z's communicator picked up a second signal, not from the Friznik fleet, from Earth. Encrypted, hidden, ancient. She hacked into it, decoded the transmission. "To any listening alien species, we are not what they say. We are not monsters. We just forget how to be good sometimes." Z's eyes widened. The signal was decades old, from a secret government project. Hidden, buried, meant for alien ears only, and it ended with this: "If you find us, please give us a chance." Z stared at the screen for a long time. She recorded her own message. "This is Scout Z of Friznik. The humans are flawed, loud, messy, but they are also kind, funny, and they make excellent snacks that aren't alive. I believe they deserve that chance." She hit send. Leo looked at her. "That was beautiful." Z blinked. "You cried." "Shut up." Mission log. Final 48 hours. Human has gifted me a tiny helmet. It is ridiculous. I wear it with honor. The next night, they held a weird little celebration. Leo set up a cardboard "Earth is good" banner. Z danced on a Bluetooth speaker. Mittens the evil cat stared at them like they'd both lost their minds. Z looked up at the sky, where her people watched silently. "I hope you see this," she whispered. "I hope you understand." Suddenly her communicator beeped. Message received. Decision in progress. Z smiled. Then the lights flickered again. She froze. This wasn't from her people. It was another ship, one that didn't come in peace. The Friznik invasion. The stars weren't just blinking anymore. They were moving. And Z knew stars don't move like that. She stood on the rooftop, wearing her tiny, handmade helmet, still ridiculous, still iconic, staring at the dark sky. Three shapes hovered just beyond Earth's atmosphere, triangular, quiet, perfectly still. Not Friznik ships, not human satellites, something else, something wrong. Mission log. Day 6, new vessels detected. Not human, not Friznik, unknown class, not responding to standard frequencies. Worst part, they're just watching. Leo was inside, halfway through a grilled cheese and watching a movie about zombie cheerleaders. Z burst through the window like a neon mosquito. We have a problem. Leo choked on his sandwich. Wah, are they back? The Frizniks? Are we being invaded again? Z shook her head. Worse, something unknown is here. And it's not answering hails. Not even a yo, what's up? Leo stared. That's super rude. Z nodded grimly. Galactically rude. Within minutes, her communicator exploded with data-encrypted messages. Strange frequencies. Alien static, like whispers underwater. And then one clear ping. Universal broadcast signal received. Origin unknown. Z tapped into it. A voice crackled through. Cold. Metallic. Too perfect. To all sentient life. This planet is scheduled for cleansing. Biological samples will be collected. Resistance is unnecessary. Leo blinked. Scheduled for what now? Z looked up, her face pale. It's a collector drone. Level 9 threat. Leo, oh good. That sounds like a video game boss. I feel so safe. Z pulled up the Friznik database. The truth made her stomach drop. Collectors, ancient AI species. Not born, built, programmed to harvest life, catalog it, then vaporize the host planet to prevent contamination. Reason, unknown. Motive, irrelevant. They do not negotiate. Leo's hands trembled. Z, are you saying Earth is on their grocery list? She nodded. And where the bananas? She contacted the Friznik fleet. Emergency. External threat detected. Requesting immediate assistance. The screen lit up with her commander's image. Same 6 eyes. Slightly more worried this time. We are aware of the collector presence, he said. It's why we were monitoring Earth in the first place. We feared it might be their next target. Z blinked. You didn't think that was important to mention before? We didn't want to panic you. Z nearly chucked her communicator out the window. Meanwhile, the collector drones were moving. One of them descended silently into Earth's orbit. Cities below lost power. Electronics failed. Streetlights blinked out. People filmed it on their phones, thinking it was just another UFO sighting. It was in single quotes. It was a scouting unit, and it was scanning every signal, every heartbeat, every biological source. And then it found Z. Back at Leo's house, alarms screamed from her communicator. Alert. Target identified. Scout Z lifeform. Classified. Priority acquired. Z's blood ran cold. They're after me. Leo looked horrified. Why? What do they want? Z answered slowly. They don't want me. They want what's inside me. Friznik data. DNA. Codes. Access to the galactic network. Leo. So, you're basically an alien USB stick with legs? Z. Correct. Also I'm adorable. Leo. The time. They needed to move. Z tapped her communicator. I have one chance to mask my signal, but I need height. Power. A high enough tower to override their scan. Leo's eyes lit up. The old radio tower outside town. No one uses it anymore. Z nodded. Perfect. We go now. Leo grabbed a backpack, stuffed it with snacks, power banks, duct tape, and, because Leo a roll of glow-in-the-dark stickers just in case, Z leapt into her hover drone. Let's make some bad decisions. As they raced across the field, the sky darkened unnaturally fast, clouds formed in geometric shapes, lightning sparked without thunder. Above them, the collector vessel dropped lower. No sound, no fire, just the impossible silence of a predator that didn't care. Z looked up. We're running out of time. They reached the tower. Rusted, ancient, creepy. Of course. Z flew up while Leo started climbing the ladder, huffing and muttering. Why can't world saving ever involve escalators? At the top, Z opened a hidden port on her communicator. She connected it to the tower's old transmitter. Uploading signal cloak. 12%. 35. Below them, the collector drone started descending, and it was no longer watching. It was coming. Suddenly, a massive amp wave hit. The tower lights exploded. Leo's phone melted. The hover drone died mid-air. Z fell, tumbling off the railing. Leo lunged and caught her mid-air barely. Z panted. That was my ride. Leo looked up at the descending drone. We're gonna need a plan B. The drone landed in the field below. 8 legs extended. Its surface shimmered like black oil. A glowing red eye opened. It spoke. Biological Unit Z. Submit for scanning or face annihilation. Z stood on Leo's shoulder. She stared down at the collector and flipped it. The tiniest alien bird possible. Come and get me. Suddenly a new light split the sky. A Friznik ship dropped out of orbit, sleek, silver, beautiful. Commander 6 eyes appeared in a glowing hover projection beside them. You are not alone, Scout Z. The Friznik ship fired a plasma beam at the drone, blasting off 2 of its legs. It staggered, but it didn't fall. It regenerated. Z whispered. They learn from every hit. Leo, cool. So we've made it mad and smarter. The collector prepared its main weapon, a pulse cannon capable of vaporizing a mountain. V looked at Leo. You have to go. Leo shook his head. Not leaving you. Z smiled sadly. You're brave. Stupid, but brave. She pulled out a tiny device, a backup signal disruptor. If I plug this into the collector's core, I can fry its command circuits. Leo's voice cracked. You won't survive that, Z. No, Leo. Then we find another way. He opened his backpack and pulled out duct tape. Let's be honest, everything we've done so far has involved duct tape and bad ideas. Why stop now? Together, they rewired the disruptor. Leo threw it like a grenade. It landed perfectly. Z hit the detonator. The collector shrieked. A sound that shook the trees and shattered every street lamp in a 5-mile radius. Then silence. The drone collapsed. Gone. The sky cleared. The Friznik commander floated beside them. Earth is safe. For now. You did well, Z. Z looked at Leo. I didn't do it alone. Mission log. Day 6 final entry. Came to study monsters. I found something stranger, kinder, dumber, louder, better. As the commander prepared to leave, he looked at Z. You may return with us now. Earth is no longer your responsibility. Z looked back at Leo and said, I'm staying. Z's big decision. The collector drone lay in a smoking heap in the field. Its core fizzled. Its sensors blinked red, then black. Earth was safe. For now. But Z wasn't celebrating. She stood on Leo's shoulder, arms folded, wings folded tighter. Above them, the Friznik mothership hovered silently, a floating silver dagger in the sky, ready to beam her up, ready to take her home. The commander's voice echoed from the sky. Scout Z. Final call. Return to orbit. Mission complete. Z. Didn't move. Leo looked up at her. You don't have to go if you don't want to. Z didn't answer. Because she didn't know. Mission log. Final day. I don't know where I belong anymore. Back at Leo's house, Z stared out the window. Birds chirped. Kids laughed in the distance. Somewhere, someone was definitely burning toast. The usual Earthlings. But Z didn't feel usual. She felt split. Part of her ached for home. Her own planet. Her people. Gravity that didn't feel like a soggy mattress. But another part. It felt like she'd found something here. Something she didn't know she needed. Friendship. Chaos. Terrible music and excellent snacks. Leo sat beside her, holding a pizza roll in one hand and Z's communicator in the other. So, he said, what are you thinking? Z shook her head. I don't know. If I go back, I'm just another scout, another cog. But if I stay here, you'll be the only one of your kind? Z nodded. On a planet that nearly ate me twice. Also, your cat is still hissed softly from under the couch, as if on cue. Leo chuckled. That's fair. He hesitated, then said, you know, maybe the best place to be isn't where you're from. Maybe it's where you're needed. Z looked up at him. That's dangerously close to wisdom. Leo grinned. I had a whole pizza roll before saying it. Helps. Suddenly, Z's communicator lit up. Incoming message origin. Friznik command ship status. Confidentials opened it. A hologram flickered to life, but it wasn't the commander this time. It was her mother. Z gasped. Mom? Her mother's face appeared soft, tired, worried. Z, you're alive. Thank the stars. We saw the transmission. We saw the drone. And we saw you. Z blinked fast. You were watching? Of course. The fleet let us through when the signal changed. They told us. You were a hero. Z's voice shook. I don't feel like one. You stopped a collector. You protected another species. And you did it without weapons. You used your voice, your heart. Z looked down at her tiny hands. Her mom continued. You don't have to come back right away. If Earth needs you, we'll understand. Z couldn't breathe for a second, then she whispered, thank you. The message ended. Leo leaned in. Well, that sounded pretty huge. Z nodded. Yeah, I've been given a choice. And that was the scariest part. Z had always followed orders. Run the mission. File the report. Survive. Repeat. Now, she had to choose. Go home, or stay behind. Be safe, or be uncertain. Live as one of many, or be the only one of her kind on a strange, ridiculous, beautiful planet. That night, she asked Leo to take her somewhere quiet. They ended up on the hill where her ship first crashed. The trees swayed. Crickets sang. The stars above looked calm, but Z knew better. The galaxy was always watching. She pulled out a small device from her suit. It was her recall beacon, the one that would teleport her back instantly to the ship if she activated it. One button. That's all it would take. Leo sat beside her, silent. Z held the beacon, and she said, you saved my life, you know. Leo snorted. Barely. You saved mine like 7 times. I mean it, Z continued. Before Earth, I was just surviving, doing what I was told. I didn't even know I could feel things like this. Like what? Like fear, hope, laughter, anger, joy, spite, pride, pizza. Leo smiled. All the good stuff. She looked up at him. Do you think your world is worth saving? Leo thought, then said, no, I don't think it's worth saving. I think it's worth fixing. But we need help. Maybe someone like you. Z looked down at the beacon and turned it off. Mission log, entry deleted. She didn't need it anymore. This wasn't part of the mission. This was her choice. Suddenly, a new ping echoed across her communicator. A public transmission. Friznik. Encryption. Open frequency.it read. The Council recognizes Z as a peace envoy of Earth. Official first contact representative. Planet. Human class. Mission. Observe. Advise. Guide. Status. Independent. Z's mouth dropped open. Leo read over her shoulder. Wait. 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 You just got promoted to Earth's alien ambassador? Z whispered. I think I'm staying. Weeks. Earth world had changed a little. The government never made an official announcement. Too dangerous. Too many questions. So Z stayed hidden publicly. But in secret, she met scientists, artists, kids, cats reluctantly. She taught humans about the stars and learned how to skateboard. She became a mystery, a myth, a whisper in online forums. That weird alien TikTok account has to be real. I swear I saw a flying bean at Walmart. Z just rolled her eyes and kept working. One evening, she sat with Leo on the roof again, watching the stars. She leaned against a juice box he brought her. Think they'll come back? Leo asked. The collectors? Z said. Eventually. They always do. Leo nodded. Then we'll be ready, she smiled. Next time, maybe. We'll have a few surprises waiting. The sky blinked once. A flash far away. Z smiled, then whispered, "Let them come."